Okay, I have the ARIKON, and I hope I'm pronouncing that company name right. Smoke detector with a 10-year battery. Now, don't worry if you can't see this properly. I know it's flat down, not tilted up, things like that. But I'm going to list the specs to you, what it does, what it's good at, what it can and can't do. Then I'll tell you a bit about other functions on it. Then I'll show you it closer up to the camera. I'll even press its button so you can hear how loud the sound it makes. Then I'll even press the button so it'll make a quick squeal so you can hear the sound and how loud it is. Bear in mind this is a recording, so it might not be quite the same as hearing it in person, but it'll help anyway for you to get a bit of an idea. And then I'll show you, or like I say, all close up the camera. Then towards the end, I'll give you the price and if I recommend it or not. Now it comes in two versions, black or white. Now if you're hoping to have like a black one on a dark area where you can just see the LEDs and the button but not the whole thing, that isn't going to be quite how that works, because if you can see, it's white with like almost a grey kind of top mesh here, and then there's a button in the middle with the LED. Well, this main section is still white on the black one. It's just this grey mesh is black, so I don't really see there's a huge point to the other colour, but still that you have an option. It has a high quality, sensitive, photoelectric, I think I'm saying that right, sensor that can detect dangerous, fast burning fires that could cause extreme damage quite quickly. So it detects very fast, quick burning fires very quickly and accurately. As I've kind of mentioned in its title, it does have a remarkable 10 years of extended use with the battery. Now it uses a lithium-ion battery. Now it has a standby time of up to 10 years, so it won't necessarily last you that long, but it has a standby time of 10 years, which is really good, especially for one that has LEDs and accurate sensor. And the battery, unfortunately, even though it's a type of battery you sort of normally talk about when you're talking about rechargeable batteries, as far as I can tell, it's not rechargeable, but it has a circular LED ring, which you see when I show you it closer up. A red circular LED ring there around the test and silent button. The silent button there. Now, it will flash in a it will flash circular when it detects smoke and automatically resets when the hazardous condition has depleted, disappeared, whatever. So that, as well as having a noise, like of course most smoke detectors do have a very loud, ear-piercing noise, this also does have visual indication as well. So if for some reason you had trouble hearing it or something, or maybe you had headphones on, something like that, if you're paying attention to this, you will actually see that there is a visual indication as well, which is always nice. Even though the audio feedback should be enough, it's nice to have something visual there as well. And that does change depending upon what the status is, and I'll go into that a little bit more later. It has a powerful 85 decibel alarm tone to help inform you of the danger, which also can be hushed if you know that it is a false alarm, if you know that it has gone off because of something like a bit of normal cooking smoke, whatever. If something has set it off and it's a false alarm, you can actually hit the hush button, and that will temporarily turn it off, and then you unhush it when you want. There's 1 year of limited warranty. It's easy to install, and I'll show you some of that in a minute. I'll show you some of its little back bits, things like that, its mount. The red LED, and you might have seen it here just a second ago actually, but the red LED does flash every 60 seconds. It just does one very brief flash. It's quite easy to miss, but it doesn't need to be too over the top all the time for no reason. It's just good to have a bit of indication that it still has power. So every 60 seconds it flashes once very quickly. Like I say, it's easy to miss, but if you're not sure if it's working, just keep an eye on it, and every 60 seconds it should give one very quick blip, and if it doesn't, then keep an eye on it a bit longer, and if it still doesn't, then it's possible that the batteries are run out or something like that. For alarm condition, the red LEDs flash rapidly with short, quick bleeps. If there's a malfunction, the red LED flashes every 40 seconds with one bleep every 40 seconds as well. And that distinguishes it from the normal 60-second one, because not only is it that little bit quicker every 40 seconds, it also is accompanied by a bleep every 40 seconds if there's a malfunction. They recommend that you clean the alarm once a month, and there is details about it in the instructions. It's nothing much, nothing complicated. It's nothing that's going to take too long. It's very quick and straightforward to clean it. They also recommend, as with pretty much all most smoke alarms, they do recommend you should really hit the test button once a week, just to make sure it still has power, or if you see the flash in it, it's got power, just to make sure the alarm is still able to function and you can still hear a tone, to make sure things are working correctly. The product weight is 130 grams. Its dimensions are approximately 100 by 37 millimeters. As I've mentioned, its noise level is 85 decibels, which should carry for around about 3 meters. Pretty good. They do recommend, of course, that you put one of these in each room of your home, not just the kitchen or not just the bedroom or whatever. Make sure you have one in each room. Not necessarily this one. You don't have to buy all your smoke alarms the same. There's nothing like that, so don't worry about that. They just recommend you have a smoke alarm of some type in each room. So of course you could always buy loads of these if you wanted to, of course, but you don't have to. Note that the smoke alarm is a standard sort of smoke alarm. It cannot detect poisonous gases. It's not a specialist poisonous gas detector. It is a normal kind of household smoke detector. It does not detect poisonous gases such as CO. What comes in the box? We get the box. In the box you get this. It's mount. That is where the test button is underneath, and where you can get to the batteries. That can come off and you can mount that to the wall. Then this can unscrew off and back on. And also if you turn it one way, it will be off. One way's on. Now, the test button is under there. I'll show you in a minute. But this bottom section, you'd mount onto the wall, then screw the main section on with your hands. It also comes with a manual. Let me just show you that. This basic manual, and it is quite detailed because it does go into things like cleaning as well as installation, how to mount it, various things like that, various safety information, best place to locate, location for it, various things. It's really quite detailed. It goes into how to use the hush button or the pause button, which is handy. Then there's things about the test button, which is, like I say, is underneath that I'll show you. It goes into various other things like that. It also should have some screws to screw it into the wall, so you don't have to use your own or buy some more. Now here is the unit itself. It looks nicer than most. Most are basically just white lumps, or certainly if you get sort of basic cheap smoke detectors, or if they're older detectors. This is a nice new one that has kind of a grille design here, and this grille design is kind of a grey, almost blue, but it's kind of basically grey. Then a white button with their company logo, then the red LED ring there around the button. Let me just press the button a minute. There you go. So that showed you what the LED ring looks like when it's in action. Of course, it would be doing that more frequently if there was actual emergency, if it had detected smoke. But that gives you an idea of what it looks like when it is kicked into action, when there is a problem. And that should give you an idea a bit of the kind of tone and the sound it makes. Then around the side here, you have this kind of looks like air grills all around. And you have the base here. Not much to say. Now here is the bottom. You can unscrew this. Let's just unscrew it a minute. So you turn it and lift it off. Now let's have a look at the base bit first. Here it is. You have some hole areas so you can screw the screws in, and basically that would be on your wall. Then once you've screwed it into your wall, you then just get this and screw it on with your hands. Then if you need to get to the test button or clean it, you can always just unscrew it, leave this on the wall fine, screwed in, just leave that permanently on. Do whatever you need to do with this, replace the batteries or whatever, then screw it back on. The only other thing to see here, apart from the hooks, these bit of hooks is where so you can screw it back onto the mount. That's all that is. Then here is the test button. This isn't the hush button. The hush button is the one on top. This is the test button. And each time you press it, there. And also, if we turn it over, I'll press this button, the test button, and you'll see it flash on the front as well when that button is pressed. It's basically the back just screws into place and clicks. You hear it click when it's properly on, but you'll have that mounted to the wall, so you'll be doing it from this direction, and then you can unscrew it and take it off when you need to. It's simple as that. The false alarm control, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, is if you don't turn, if you don't unpause it, it will last up to 15 minutes. So it won't, if you forget to turn the pause mode off or hush mode off, it will come back on the alarm properly in the normal mode after 15 minutes if you forget to turn hush mode off. Okay, so what else is there to say about it? Not much. The only other thing to make it better would be if you could recharge it via a USB cable, plug in a USB cable, recharge it. That's more convenient than not being able to replace a battery at all. So I do actually recommend it. It's a nice design. You have it in with that kind of grey top or black top, depending upon which you think looks best. Both models are the same price. It's a nice, loud, high-pitched 85 decibel alarm. Nice LED ring there, works really well with its middle button that you can easily press in. Plus, it's separable from the mount, so you can mount the wall, mount it on the wall with the plate. But then you can just unscrew the main bit, do whatever you need to do, like clean it a bit easier, whatever, or press the test button that's on the base, on the back, then screw it back on. So it's nice design, looks nice, works well, nice high pitch. I do recommend it. But what about the price? He isn't, even though he's quite a nice one, he isn't one where it doesn't have LEDs and isn't very loud, things like that. It's a good smoke alarm with good battery life for not even £15. He is £12.99. So for £13, you get a really good smoke alarm here. And if it's available in the US, I'll put the price with the US dollar price along with it as a text overlay on this video as well. So I do really recommend it. Please like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you could do me a huge favour, and if you're watching this on the Amazon product page, please hit the yes button next to was this review helpful to you. That will help me out a lot as well. Thanks for watching.